Good morning, everyone. Welcome along. Welcome to Steelhorse Station. Hope you're well. Hope you've got a drink. Strap in. We're off to Newlands today. It is 7 a.m. Tuesday morning here in Melbourne, and we're having fun. So let us switch across to Newlands and see what's what. Welcome to everybody that's popped in. Now, let's see here. So we're in September. It's raining. I had already, after the last stream, cut the grass here because we need to get some conditioned grass up to the sheep. Now, of course, it's wet conditioned grass, but given we're just going to collect it, and it hopefully I won't run over my corn there. All we're really doing here is just piling it up so it's a bit quicker to collect. That'd be Mark sitting in there. Welcome along, sir. Great to have you in. Hope your Monday was kind to you. So we'll just get this done quickly so that we can get some feed over to the sheep who desperately need it. I did put some in, but it didn't last very long. Yeah, I always found I had mixed feelings on the first day back at work after a holiday. And towards the end of my career, I got much better at the creation of my team and the putting in place of delegations. It took me a few goes over the years to get through to people that I left in charge, that being left in charge meant actually making the decisions, not piling all the work up till the boss got back. Which seemed to come as a surprise to some folks, but it's kind of like, well, if I wanted to do all of my job in the week that I got back from the time I got on holidays, why would I bother going away? And work does pay for the holiday. That's always a good thing. But when I'm on holiday, I like to completely forget about work if I can. And in a 24/7 job, that was a little tricky at times. But I got better at it. Yeah, let's just pick those up so I don't ruin my nice, neat windrows. Evan Lovejoy, welcome along, sir. Hope you have had a good Monday also. Has there been anything interesting happening in your world, Evan? we still have our niece from the UK staying with us. She'll be here for another couple of weeks. Although she and my wife and son went up to Brisbane for the weekend to visit my daughter. Hodge1, welcome in, sir. I do remember you from last week, Evan. I try hard to Wimbledon, Mark. Although she's studying these days, so she's off at university. Where am I going to put this? We're running a little low on storage, which is another job that's on our list. Is she good at tennis? No. Not at all. Her mother's moderately good at strawberries. For the non-British in here, that's a veiled reference to Wimbledon and the strawberries that are part of the fine dining experience on Centre Court. Right, so that's all rode up. And I am pretty keen on it also, Evan. The Australian Open's pretty popular in these parts as well. We've had visitors come to visit for that. Yes, it's a true multicultural community. Although we haven't had Ravi from Romania for a while. Maybe he's enjoying on catch-up. Now, yeah, that's the right stuff. You can watch sport from all over the world. Got to get a bit of curling in or something along those sort of lines, do we? I'm guessing ice hockey is probably your thing, Hodge1, is it? I think I saw there's a major league ice hockey game coming to Melbourne for some reason, a promotional event. I've only been to one ice hockey game and found it was quite exciting, but it was actually quite hard to watch because it was so darn fast. I guess being a newbie to the sport, I wasn't sure I wasn't good at anticipating what was going to happen next. Oh, it's a promotional game. Okay, that would make sense. Well, makes sense on one level. Oh, I forgot to change the game screen again. Goodness me. Hopeless. That's why everybody's getting bored. Thank you. Sorry about that, folks. I was having fun. Collecting up grass in the rain. I can imagine it is. I used to ice skate when I was a kid, but there were only ever a couple of ice rinks in Melbourne, so not exactly a huge pastime. I'm hoping the rain stops today so that we can forage some of the, well, the corn that's to our left here. We're kind of going to make a decision on how to do a couple of things. But my plan is to take some forage off there, because ultimately I was thinking about our crop schedule and our fields, and we're going to have a look at that in a second. Who do you follow, Hodge One? The only hockey name I know is Gretzky. Oh, and the Mighty Ducks. That was a Emilio Estevez movie, wasn't it? Estevez or Sheen? I forget. Right, let's go up and drop this into the Sheepers. The Edmonton Oilers. Very good. Ah, well, there you go. Complete coincidence on my part. My favorite semi. Well, probably don't know enough. Certainly not a trucker. I quite like the look of a lot of the Peterbilt. Or Kenworth is, I'm a bit partial. I've got a K200 Kenworth model which hasn't really found a map that I think it fits on. Oops, I've got to get that round the corner. I'm on. Turn back wheels, turn back wheels. Keep going. Didn't do that very well. I've got to make sure we don't get cleaned up by the train. Oh, there we go. That was good timing. So that should make sheep a lot happier. I had another niece's son here yesterday who's 3, and he wanted to see the train, so we sat here a little bit and watched the train go round. He thought that was most intriguing. So let's have a look here at the animal situation. So cows, oh my goodness, the cows have eaten all the food again, but only just run out. So we need to do some more cow feed. And the pigs are out. What a surprise. They're not doing as badly in the main yard, and the sheep are doing much better now that we've given them some food. So they're full up, so that's good. Okay, so got to make a cow food mix. It is the problem with, well, the problem, it's just, it gives you plenty to do. I'm sure if I played it all the time, we've got enough space in here to get the rest of this grass. So let's do that. Try not to pick up the stuff that will convert it. Yeah, I suspect I can play with it, like there's an XML file, if I remember correctly, where I can play with the amount that they eat. But that level of tweaking is a bit beyond us here. I was just sort of, I like the fact that we've now got the meat processing plant, so I reckon we're getting closer to a point where the pigs will balance out, and we'll have a method for dealing with them a bit better. Similarly, we now take the older cows out of the, we have an abattoir. Yes, and the global pallet. Oh, have I tested it? I'm pretty sure I tested it. I've had lots going on this last week, and so my memory is a bit, well, let's just say senior moments are reigning. We'll go and have a look in a minute. I'm pretty sure I tested it. I definitely applied a Scooter's fix. So yes, Hodge 1, we have a meat processing facility which turns livestock into meat products, and we have a sell point for selling said meat products. Right, that's the grass off there. Let's turn you off. Pop the leftovers in the storage. We'll go over and check that out shortly, Hodge 1. No reference to John. He was back at work for the first time in a little bit today, so I hope he had a good day. I'm sure his community folk were keen to see him and get that bingo under control. You go have some fun, Evan. Have a good one. Now, let's have a look. We'll do the cows. I was partway through. That was what I was doing with my nephew yesterday, was making some mix. He thought the digger was particularly impressive. So I'm pretty sure we need to put another scoop of each of these. Yep. Ah, Cranky, g'day. Welcome in, sir. Good to see you. Hope you are well. We're just doing our usual bit to feed the animals. The cows have only just run out. What I'll do is I'll make one load for now because that'll keep them healthy. And then at the end of the stream, I'll make a bunch to fill it up. At least we've managed to see off the rain, which is good. What have we got going on in that? I've got some molasses in there. Can't see the scoop. That's better. Now, fill level's 10.5. We got any? We must have some straw, mustn't we? We could probably put some straw in there. Although, I probably want to use the maize silage. I do have some straw. Let's put as much as you'll let me pour in there. And the rest we can just drop in the trigger. How much straw are you going to let me take? Much up to 20%. No, that's not enough room for 20%, so that's safe. There we go. Now if we drop the straw in, and that should give us a mix. Looks all right. Zip around there, come on. Come on. Up. That little ramp there is just annoying. Overload. So the sheep situation, apart from their health, 1 month, 18 months. Is it going to clear up today? I think we can check. going to be overcast for the morning. Sunny by the end of the day. So it's going to just look a little dull. The rain's gone though. Now, let's just have a look at working through the sheep. So we've got a few in various stages of reproduction, but we've also got a couple that we can sell. So the plan will be at some point, well, when they get back to full health, now that they've got plenty of food, should happen through the course of the day, we'll take some sheep across to the meatworks. We can leave you there for now. The other thing I was going to look at was cows. So the cows are at full health. But we have some 40-month-old cows which are going to reproduce, okay, next month. I want them to reproduce and then we'll sell them. Because they're the big eaters, the older ones. To the meat packer indeed. So if we shoot over there now and just have a look at what's happening. So we've got a holding pen here for pigs because they get out of control fairly regularly. What have we got produced out of the packing plant? We have some... Whoops. We've got some pork. And some pork. So it's split between the two. Not all the animals coming here. So what we're working towards, Hodge... So I want to mix. So if I look at the pigs, the way the pigs are set up, we have our main pigsty, which holds 216, and then we have an extension yard just beside it to deal with newborns, and over here at the, wherever it is, at the meatworks, we've got a fattening yard if we run out, because what we're finding is when these guys reproduce, they overpopulate very quickly. But at the moment, we're down with just some relatively small numbers that are at reproductive age. So what I'm aiming for is to get a bunch here up to maximum price, and we'll sell those at the farmer's market as breeding stock. And trying to balance our numbers by selling 6-month-old pigs out of the extension yard. So that's what that's about. So we've got some there that we can sell. So it's just a bit of a juggling act, and not trying to be too precise and complicated with it. It's kind of like more so, you know, there's 7 in the extension yard that have managed to survive past 6 months. So maybe we pop them in back in the main yard and grow them out to full age. Whereas these ones, these 20 at 3 months, when they get to 6, will probably flog them because 20 is a trailer load. So something along those sort of lines. That's the plan. And the other byproduct that comes out of that here is the gelatin, which you can see there. So we've got a little bit of gelatin. They're still working through the pigs, and it takes salt as an input. We're just experimenting here. So salt as an input goes in here. The animals get delivered here. And the co-requisite mod is the animal input extensions mod. So this is Scooter's creation, so that fits quite nicely. And then down the road here, I'll just scoot on down. We have what works affectionately as a butcher's shop, which is the place we sell the meat products. Just around the corner here. Could have fast jumped down there, I guess, for that would miss the opportunity to jog down the road. There's our sell point for the meat stuff around the back here. Prices are reasonable, so you're not going to make $1 squillion. Let's have a look here. What can we, well, let's have a look at Mark's tool. Down, so pork, we're currently getting kind of, there's a little bit of math in the calculations because a single animal converts to a certain amount of litres, so you kind of got to do the comparison. But what we saw was it's not hugely profitable, so it doesn't break all of the mechanics of the game, but it makes you a little bit, and you get this byproduct of gelatin, which you can also sell. So if we have a look at the curve for those products, where are we? Should be down here somewhere. Let's have a look at the curve. So it, for a valuable product, it fluctuates in a fairly narrow band. So yeah, I think Scooter's done a pretty good job with it. So that's where we're at with that guy. So now what we're looking at, so if we come across here, so a couple of things happened. We had some money at the end of the last stream, and so I've now bought this field and this field. So the plan, all these fields, and so the plan is to expand the corn on this side of the road for the moment, because we need heaps of corn for the grist mill. And in order to make our remaining products, we then need wheat, barley, oats, and canola. Oh, we need canola as a direct input for the pigs, and we need wheat, barley, and oats in order to make grain grist. So at the moment, we've got some wheat in the silo and we've got some barley. What I'm thinking is that we get our grain crops rotating over here, and by the time we need to plant in 6 months' time, the next lot of sugar beet, we put it in somewhere in here. So it means buying a couple of fields. But what I'm thinking is if we get the corn off the south cornfield, we can replant canola in there, and then we can arrange our wheat and barley on these two fields. So wheat where the barley is currently, put the barley up where the canola was, and we can put oats in after we take the sugar beet off, and that will fit with the calendar. So it's getting a bit complicated, but once we get a system right, the rotation will become a little bit more straightforward. So that's pretty much the plan. But in order to make that happen, we need to empty this guy out, because we've still got 70,000 litres of maize silage, and if we grab a whole, forage this corn, we're going to need somewhere to put it. And I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to go here and look at growth stages. Right there. Yeah, so we can forage the corn. That's not a problem. The problem is, where do we put it? We almost need a third bunker, actually. Oh, I wonder if it'll fit in the silo. Let's have a look. In the barn. Can we store corn forage in the barn? We can store timber. No is the answer to that question. That would have been too easy. Straw silage, hay silage, grass silage. Oh, chaff silage. Is that chaff silage? Is that... Ah, get out of there. That close, that's maize silage. I can't put maize silage in there. How come Omatana didn't anticipate my need for maize silage storage? I could give the maize, well, we could do that. We could just drop the maize silage straight in the mini BGA, given we're going to make some more. But before we do that, we should make some more cow feed. So we should max up the... Ah, okay, that makes sense. It's not a problem. We will solve our problem. I did not know that. Cranky? That's the one I probably should have used. But never mind. There's a way through to get everything done that we need to get done. It's just a matter of thinking it through a little before I race into it. Because it's when I race in and don't understand. Oh, Stanley Cup's on. Oh, I recognise the name of the competition at least. Right. So that's two of those. Whoops, lift you up a little bit. This tractor's terrific. Really works nicely. Now, what? I wasn't paying attention. I just blithely. How much have I put in? I've got to put one more of those in. I never cease to be amazed by how easily I lose count. Are you stuck on there, champ? The ground. That would be it. God, that's annoying that this overfills. You must get to the bottom of what causes that bug. It was really interesting. So the 1,000-litre bucket that I use on the oaks doesn't have that bug. So it won't overfill in the silo. So there's something, I'm guessing, that's changed with the shovel definitions inside the game. And some buckets use it and some buckets don't. Okay, let's drop some mineral feed in there. I can probably just put all of that in. And some molasses. Just splash that in there. Oh, so I'll drop all of that in. Okay, we've got plenty of molasses for the minute. We want some hay. We'll go and do a scoop of hay. Probably need to make some more hay at some point too. That was the other thing when I ran around the fields. We need to find a spot for a grass field. Oh no, we've got plenty of hay for the minute. We don't use it a great deal. But yes, with a fuller sheep population where they're eating a lot more conditioned grass than they were, and this little patch of grass beside us here, we need to put another shed on to store some of this equipment away. So that's the plan. So let's top you off with some straw. Plenty of water in there. Where's the straw gone? There it is. Need to send some trees across to sell too. Haven't done that yet this morning. Jump straight into animal feeding. Come on, up the bump. That's it. While you're unloading, let's go. There we go. Full load of those trees. You can go do those. Not too much else we're worried about up there for the minute. We've got plenty of bamboo to sell as well by the looks, so that's good. All those greenhouses look to, oops, run the right direction. We've got everything growing over here, so that's promising. What month are we? September. So yeah, 182 out of 216 sitting in there. Let's see here. Oh, that's the other thing we need, is a trailer for the chaff. So if we pop you out, so I'm not sure I understand the question. I run the mod which allows me to reduce the frequency and the costs, and they should be set on 75% so that it doesn't accrue quite as readily. But it still comes in and hits at a reasonable level. And then in terms of age of the equipment, my habit. So in the game settings, I run, where are we here? Dusty Lands. Am I in the right one? Let's try these guys. There we go. So maintenance at 75. Oh, I've actually got the maintenance cost on here down at 50. So that's how I set those. And generally, it's not always true, but, and this one's a good example, but generally when I'm starting off a Let's Play and I've got older equipment, I will set the hours up to be something that's more in keeping with the fact that it's used equipment. So I won't buy a cheaper tractor. Let's see, yeah, so there's actually, I think we drove up that 57 hours on there. What's this guy? 31 hours on here. So I probably did just buy them straight from the shop because they've both done a fair bit of work. Now what we need is a trailer that you can fire into. I've got a sneaking suspicion we learnt before that these containers are too high for you. Oh no, maybe not. At the moment you're full of canola. That was the other decision we needed to make, was where to put a silo for the canola. Did I put any in? Would be the $64 question. I know the one I wanted to use. I like the look of the Winkler ones. An example of which is on Silver Run. That guy actually will do the job. Although he's only 75,000 litres, that's not very many. That's... Oh, he's only 32,000 bucks. Maybe that'll do the trick. And if we pop him, we don't have enough. Oh, we do have enough cash now. So I was kind of thinking that the place he belongs is up here somewhere. Specifically, we could pop him over in the corner. Yeah. Ish. Out of the way. There's a little bit of fence there. And I can zoom in a little bit and see what we're dealing with there. We put him something like so. So then did that answer your question, Hodge One, about maintenance? I don't have any real life experience to gauge it off. It just strikes me that the game feels like the maintenance is frequency and cost is excessive, and it's a shame you got to rely on a mod to temper that. And it also strikes me as bizarre when you consider that the manufacturers they're happy for that situation to persist, but they don't want to see a situation where their equipment actually breaks down, which is just strikes me as odd. Yeah, there you go. So Cranky's at 50 all round. Generally speaking, it's, for me, the reason why I don't mess with it much is I find I've kind of got a balance that'll work for me in the economics of the gameplay for the most part. Oh, painting is just ridiculous. I can't... Well, the only time I would paint a piece of equipment, and let's try getting the... Is that going to drop in there, or is that going to be really annoying? Interesting. Let's try... No, we can't get a trigger that way. Let's try attach. Let's see if I get a trigger this way. Okay, so brand spanking new Starlight. Get back up there. So that is the trigger. That's the trigger there, right? You didn't want to be. It's hard to get an angle that I can see. Let's drop that there. Turn those off. A minute, let's grab the little guy. Why are you not? There we go. Let's see if we can forage this. It will either work or it won't very quickly. You follow? Oh, come on. You were selected. You were just playing funny buggers. There we go. Too impatient. So, now we want right control, right shift, F. And pull you in a little, whoops. Bring you into maybe 10. Let's see how that goes. We'll leave you directly behind for the minute. No. Is that going to get it in the trail? Let's see. Straight through the dash. Sort of. No, we're not getting it into that trailer, are we? Okay. Pull you out of there. No. No joy. Right. So, turn that off. Let's... Jason, g'day. Lurking is fine. Welcome along. I'm just wondering, last time, did we grab a trailer specially? So that the forage wagon could tow it. so the forage harvester could tow it. And maybe that's what we did, because these are probably all a little bit heavy for the forage harvester to tow itself. Let's try this guy. And if this doesn't work, we'll go down that path. Still feeling like distance is too far. Yep. Okay. Let's... No worries, Mark. Thank you for dropping in. Have a good evening. Get some good sleep. We will head off to the shop and have a look here at no worries, Jason. Let's have a look here. You don't tell me what equipment you're on. He was getting quite a shower of it, wasn't he? So I'm thinking that we need a well, we can try, but I've got a sneaking suspicion this trailer will be too heavy for it to pull itself. Let's try that. It was nearly a nasty industrial accident. Yep, good call, Cranky. So, I need a pin hitch trailer, which I do not think I've got. Because all of the extra capacity in the cab. All of the trailers we've got are towable, I think. Yeah. So we need a pin hitch trailer is the only one. Oh, what's on? That'll be way too heavy. Yep. So we need money first. You're going to need to send you over to pick it up. So let's... You can go to the dealership. Where are you? Vehicle, buy, sell. Off you trottle. Are you set to auto repair? But you did that the hard way, champ. Right, so we need to be back here. because we need to be over here. And the bollards are up. And you can go back to potted tree load. While he's going, we'll just have a look at the trailers we could choose from. So we're going to need something like one of these Rudolphs, potentially. Will be the trick. 18 meters. I don't, yeah. Brant, possibly same size. Extension takes it up to 25, but if we make it, if it gets too big, I suspect our little forage harvester won't pull it. See, I don't think it'll pull anything like, that's not a pin hitch. Those sort of sizes. What else have we got over here? I don't reckon it'll tow something that size because it's just too heavy at 25 ton. We'll never get anything harvested. Yeah. That's wants a PTO anyway. And these Metal Tech ones are a bit better priced. What do we got here? 15. That looks pretty good. 21,000, 17 square meters. Maybe we'll go for one of those. So, I don't think we need premium. The DB14 looks like a good interim measure for us at 19.5. So we need to deliver another load of trees, which we can do now that we're stop faffing about here. Yeah, just for the harvester. Probably worth ultimately getting 2 so that we can rotate them, because I'll need a ferry. And the other thing that would make a lot of sense given their design is to put down a drive-through silo. Because trying to back those in to unload them will just be annoying. Although I could get a conveyor and dump out of the, just drive past. We may even have a conveyor that'll do that. You're going to fill up just nicely here. How much you got in there? 5.5. Oh. So you think you put one of those bags on a have I got a I do over at the meatworks. We could certainly do the experiment, right? This is a good place to try exactly those sort of things, Jason. Let's give that a whirl. Why are you not loading? You're not full, you're just slow. Yeah, that's true, because I've got no... That's the downside of those bags, is there's no way to force it to... Can I unload one in? I've never tried unloading one into a silo. What I can try... what I can try... Let's just get this guy going back to the sell point. We can experiment, we can do a couple of different experiments. Right. So you need to go to FM weight. That's true. It doesn't have a trigger. I can't dump to ground out of the bag. Yeah, it'd be a convoluted process. Even if I could get it to work, it'd be a convoluted process because I'd have to go from bag to silo. Well, if I could go from bag to silo and then silo to tipping trailer, that would be fine. But I think we'd be better off just with a I'm happy to try the bag just to see if it works, because it's an interesting curiosity. So why don't you head across to Meatworks. Animal drop will do. Hello, talk to me. What's my machine doing? It's saving. What? I've lost all control. This machine is... Oh, there we go. Why have I got no control here? That's better. Now you can drive there. Okay. I don't want you. You're waiting till we've got enough money. You're waiting till they're healthy. You're on your way. You're just driving slowly around the corner. So what we'll do is we'll put one of those bags on a flatbed trailer and just see if we can load it. Just to answer that first question. And then we do have a spare or a generally unused auger. So what I'm thinking is we could set up a drive-by option. There's a reasonable chance I can tip out of that trailer, side tip out of that trailer into that auger. Maybe. There's many things that could go wrong with this experiment, Cranky. That would be just one of them. So let's, where are we? Must be just about ready to sell. Yeah, there we go. I don't know if it'll tell me if I have a look at the bags in the shop. Where are we? Not looking promising. Oh yeah, it's good. So yes is the answer to that question. So the bags, so I'm glad we were able to answer one. So now we got enough cash to buy the trailer that we want. You can go back and grab a load of bamboo. No, we don't want you there. We want you potted to reload. Thank you. You're just about where we want you, so turn you off. I can drive. And yes, I turned the collisions off on that crossing. Oh, okay. So your tip is that it should work fine. Not the most orthodox mechanism, I'd have to say. Oh, I'm just passing. I'll just run in and get the trailer that's more in what I would say the conventional way to go about it. I haven't used these Metal Tech trailers before. That's the one we wanted. Setup is standard. What's standard to do? Nothing obvious other than increase the price. Oh, that's wheel setup. Okay, standard design, design 1. Yeah, pretty basic. Cover I'm fine with, although it's expensive, so let's not get a cover. 19,500. Anything other than lizard. And I can't control the colours. So let's buy one of those. Get you out onto the road and send you to Main Yard Park. And if I'm not mistaken, I have a bag in the back of the market. I do. Ready for just this occasion. I think you're probably correct. It will be. There'll be quite a queue there when we get back. Now we want the auto load. So the one downside of universal auto load is when it's equipped on a trailer, it interferes with your ability to hold on to anything. So trying to get these loaded onto a trailer is a real problem. Doesn't help when because it's trying to auto load the pallet. Just square that up there. Right. Centered over the wheels. And yes, the Unimog is stuck in the center of the field, because we can see unlike the Oaks, it's very easy to get used to your workers not costing any money, because on the Oaks, of course, we pay them at a standard rate every day. So I come on here and it's like, oh God, where did all the money go? So what we'll do is we'll drop you off. Move that trailer out of the way. So new. Yeah, the reason I hadn't done the same here, Cranky, was that I was on Putney. In my mind, I've got a justification in that I've got actually a family with 5 able and sometimes willing children, so paying them a wage makes sense. Whereas here, I haven't sort of developed any concept of a storyline. Well, that's interesting. It's obviously not a pinhitch trailer. I didn't check that. I was expecting it to be, and it is not. So the short answer is I don't have a flatbed with a pin hitch to enable me to test that. It's 3.5. We can just afford it. Let's lease it. I'm now invested in this little experiment. Let's pop you. Bring you back. This will look very silly. Oh, for goodness sake. Ah, there it is. That's the one that's holding it. And I want you in that way around. That trailer is weenie. Let's just move it back a little. Has it got straps? Yes, it does. So our silly experiment. Let's see what happens. Doesn't appear to be working. Transport pallet doesn't have anything in it. So I think the answer is no, it doesn't. Let's try, if I don't strap it down, just move it back a little bit, just in case that's an issue. So as far as the forage harvester is concerned, it sees it correctly. It just doesn't actually make it into the bag. Now whether or not that's because the bag's too low on the trailer, so the tip point for the bag is not in the right spot, I've got no idea. But that, whatever the case, was not successful. So let's go with a mechanism that should work. Now I am going to try then follow me first, because that would be much easier if that's looking like a more promising alignment. No, that's still not working. Line it up, I've got more chance of connecting to it. That's better. Possibly. We can try that once we've cut it. Headland here. If I can drive in a straight line and actually get all of the headland harvested, that is. So what I'll do is I'll sort of go up to the tree line here and then come back. Because now we need to figure out where we're going to dump this. Course, we, like last time, have plenty of it. It all works fine when you get it set up properly. Oh, it's absolutely worth a look. You could... We don't learn anything if we don't do experiments. And every now and again, one of these wacky ideas works out and makes life interesting. 96%, so you're going to be full. What are you spraying? Yeah, you side tip, don't you? Tip side left, right. So I can side tip you. What are we gonna do up here? So that silo is not gonna work. Oops, wrong button. What silos have we got? No worries, Jason. Have a good one, mate. See you next time. Thank you for watching. It's a big silo and it is drive-through. It's also a big silo that is drive-through. It's a big cheap silo that is drive-through. What options have we got here? So we can't align it. What would be ideal is if it would run along the back of that shed. If I get any that will. They all want to snap. I don't know why they're all defined. Oh, toggle snapping off. Does that actually work? No. Yeah, it's not helping. It still snaps. Yep, no difference. It's a bit bizarre. Does it work on any of the others? No. The only way I've found to do it is to go into the XML and modify it yourself. For some reason, just not a thing. That's the one we want. No. Where else? That'd be too problematic in terms of landscaping. I don't really want it in the middle of the yard. Yeah. So they rotate freely, but they're a bit more money than I wanted to spend. What about that strip between the fields? Oh, there? Is that where you're... If I could get it to a line there, which I can do, it becomes a after the stream job so that I go and modify the bunker silo to sit in there, because then yes, we could put it sort of across here. I'm not precious about the position of the road. We're going to put sheds on this end of the grass field anyway, so I was thinking, in fact, somewhere along... What are you doing? You don't want to turn at all. So I was thinking of sort of along here somewhere. Looks like it would fit next to the grass fields. Over this side. Ah. You're suggesting down there. That side? Potentially this... My dog's going berserk. Potentially this side's an option, because if I put the shed here, we could put it at the back, run it across the back of the shed. Sorry about the... my son's leaving for work. And and my dog's misbehaving. Yeah, that's so that's just the edge of the field. That grass strips. So you're thinking up there, right? But that would actually take part of the field, because the grass strip's only a fraction of the width of the... I don't know why it's got that funny border on it. Well, it might be where I ran the farm dog. It's Tito. But we could potentially run it, as I say, if I position... I hadn't decided sheds, but for argument's sake, if we put something like that, whoops, yeah, that across here like so, then we could run... Wish you had a planning mode in, so I could sort of just temporarily place a couple of things. But yeah, if we put something down like so, and then we could run the silo at the correct orientation along the back of it, that might work. Tito, stop. Hey. So... How much did we say we had over in here? We have 63,000 litres. What's your capacity? I can't remember. Pretty sure you won't pick up out of there, but let's just exercise in futility. My God, this is slow. Fairly certain you will only or what's tipped into you. I don't want to unload there for a second. Let's come out of there. There's my tractor. Yeah, that's a better look at that border, Frankie. It's only the width of the tractor up there. But I liked the way you were thinking. It was a good option to consider. Let's zoom along here. Didn't think so. So the answer to that question is no, that will not load off the floor. But I just wanted to satisfy myself. So let's see here. Oh God, that's just ridiculously painful. Let's feed the dog while we think about it. So if we, that will shift it out of there. Let's do it that way. Oh man. That was really bizarre. So it's now telling me there is no grass silage in here. Let's just pull you out in the same plane. So I reckon you've just loaded all the what was interesting was that it affected the piles in both bunkers. Yeah, I thought it would only pick up, and I suspect it has only picked up one product at a time. But will be a function of, I'm convinced there is a bug with the shovel function that these types of devices use. So I'm guessing we lost the product that was in, whichever isn't in the, actually in the auger. That's exactly what I think's happened, Jason. Let's have a look here. Why won't you? Why won't you turn away from that? Far out. I've got no maneuvering ability on this thing. Can't get it to actually. There we go. Into the center of the. Yep. So we've got. That was interesting. It says it's got maize silage in it, but it actually dropped grass silage. Or it looked like it was about to drop grass silage. Is that over it? Yeah. What are you doing? Are you dropping it on the floor? Wonderful. Really having a good day, aren't I? That's odd. They've done the one thing I was trying to avoid. Other than making a mess, we're not achieving very much here. Okay. Just trying to get. So why is it not picking up anymore? There's still 50,000 litres in here. It's dumped a heap on the floor. That's really bizarre. I do not understand. Obi-Wan. Yep. Now it's picking up the silo that it told me was actually empty a minute ago. So that's got nothing in it. It's actually... Okay, I give up. How did it do that? So it was holding some grass silage hidden in there. But it's still not... I don't know what the hell it's doing. Yep, it's still got some more in there. It's picked up all of the grass silage out of the silo. Some of them do. Not this one. I mean, the reason they don't is they're not supposed to actually hold any measurable... Oops, we're back onto... This is seriously messed up. Oh, what a surprise, we found some more. I want you to go the other way, champ. Come on, there we go. And now it's picking up the stuff at the front. Let's turn you off. Oh, absolutely. I'll have to clean it with the front end loader. What I'm just curious about is if I go into the silo, is there actually any product in the silo according to the front loader? And the answer is yes. So there's still product in the silo, even though the silo's not reporting there to be product in it. That's very confusing. And of course, the thing is, I can't even put the silage back in because you can't tip silage back into a bunker. The only products it'll accept to tip are chaff and grass. So you can't even tip it out there. Well, this has been a voyage of discovery. Oh, I still got... So I've got no product left in here. No, maybe I just don't have the bucket at the right angle. No. So whatever it's done, it's thrown away a whole heap, because there's no way there's 60,000 litres of maize silage sitting in front. But at least I know how much I had, even if I can't get it out. So one thing we can do, because this will require thought to sort out this little mess, Ollie, is if we save and then quit and go into and I'll switch across to the desktop so you guys can see in just a sec. And we look at the save game. So on the save game, we want in placeables. What am I looking for? I am looking for the bunker silo. Compost, supermarket, train sell point, warehouse. I placed them, so it should be down a bit. Train, dairy, carpenter, compost, greenhouse. It'll be after the greenhouses. Fences. More fences than we know what to do with. Roll down here. Chipper. Now we should be getting close. Concrete block bunkers, small. So the first one that we had the grass in is now empty, despite what it's showing. And the second one is the manure heap. Where's the other silo? Sheep barn. Spinnery. Fence. Concrete bunker silo. So he's got 50,000 litres of maize silage still in it. But I can't get at it. That is really confusing. And then if we look at objects, I think, and create objects, items maybe. No, they're just bales. I can't remember. Well, I can go back to the start of the session easy enough to figure out where I'm coming from. I'm just interested in the fact that, so if we now jump back into the game, that's where we left it. It was telling me that I could, well, they wouldn't let me pick up the maize out of the maize bunker, yet there is 50,000 litres still in that bunker. So the data we just looked at said this bunker is empty, even though it's showing a pile in it. And this bunker has 50,000 in it, but I can't, or at least I couldn't. I can't pick it up. So, interesting state of affairs. I'm thinking I will have to ponder. I like the idea of separating the bunker silos so they're not side by side, so that it reduces the likelihood of that sort of issue occurring. I'll put, oh, you'll probably got, I'll have to check. I didn't check the vehicles to see whether you've still actually got some product in you. Can I do that? Let's just have a look. Will it let me? It might. Let's just, what do I want here? I want to search for AGI. Which one have you got? Fill unit. You got nothing in you. On next. So that's the seed treatment one. That's the seed treatment pallet. And the STX. So I've still got 2,000 litres of grass silage sitting in that auger. Okay. Very complicated. An interesting place to leave the stream. Not quite where I had in mind. I was hoping that we would have the forage off here so that I could start planting the canola, because if we look at our map, I need to get the canola in the ground before we finish September. So we'll do that next week. I'll fix this with the time in place and we'll come back on the second half of September and sort out our planting schedule next time. But for there now, that's probably where we'll leave it. thank you very much for watching. Cranky and Jason, I think you're still there. Anybody else that's lurking in the background, very much appreciated. And we'll be back on Thursday afternoon, evening for most of you folks, Friday morning for me, on the Oaks. Until then, have a great week, everyone. You didn't interrupt me. That's all what it's about. I would have managed to mess up the silo any way I went about it, I reckon, the bunker silo. So it was just a problem waiting to happen. But we'll catch you next time. Thanks, everyone. See ya.